The Sharia panels in existence will not close. And any attempts to close them will be a declaration of war on Muslims, because we hold those Sharia panels inside mosques. We don't use government courts.
This is not the first time that the Muslims are asking for the Sharia.
Because they want to trap the Muslims, they started shout, like somebody like Makinde here, the governor of Oyo State, somebody like Abiodun in Abeokuta in Ogun State. He also issued a threat and said there was nothing like Sharia.
The opposition to the Sharia in Nigeria is a result absolutely of ignorance. Those who know what the Sharia really is, even among non-Muslims, would welcome it.
And of course, it is an invitation to chaos. In particular, we have Yoruba nation activists threatening Muslim leaders in Yoruba land. But the Yoruba Muslims, or Muslims in the southern part of the country, have nothing to rely on. They are robbed, they are denied, they are deprived, they are oppressed.
In Yoruba land, whether governors or so-called Yoruba activists, their problem is ignorance of the Constitution of Nigeria. The Sharia is about fundamental human right in relation to religion. The Constitution guarantees freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. People ask, look, what is the sense of two Muslims going to get married in the mosque under Sharia law? When they want to divorce, you ask them to go to a customary court, which may be completely made of even Christians or animists or people who do not understand the law under which these people got married. Common sense dictates that the law under which you marry should be the one to be used in deciding on your divorce.
Yes.
Not only divorce.
Accepted, but was it like this before? Were these Sharia courts in existence in the Southwest?
Let me tell you, in Oyo State, there had been Sharia panel and in Lagos State for more than 10 years. What crisis has it caused to anybody? Has any Christian or non-Muslim been drafted to a Sharia court?
They spread to Ekiti and other states.
Are there no Muslims in Ekiti? These constitutional fundamental religious rights are inherent in you as a human being. Whether in Ekiti, whether anywhere, people have a right to determine under which law they manage their affairs. So I expect that the Muslim communities in those places will take, the governments or, people trying to disturb their peace to court. It's about constitutional.
Are there no opportunities for mature political?
Well, it is the immaturity and intolerance of non-Muslims who hate everything Islam. Otherwise, even in the north, are there no Christians in the north? Has any Christian in the north been drafted to any Sharia court? How does the Sharia court in Plateau or in Niger or in Nassau, where there are many Christians, how has it affected them negatively? How has it created crisis in those states? It is sheer intolerance and hatred and bigotry on the part of...
Is this so? They may not consider it that way anyway.
Well, whether they consider, we can see that, because it is none of their business.
That's a collective indictment. That's a collective indictment. That's the collective indictment which the Muslims in Nigeria suffer. When one Abubakar commits a crime in Sokoto, the entire Muslims in Nigeria are indicted. We don't indict other religion when a John commits a crime in Lagos. Why are the non-Muslims indicting the entire Muslim for the misnomer, for the crime of an individual? Separate the Muslim and Islam. Study Islam. What we are saying is not Sharia. No part of Islam allow anybody to be killed. In Quran 5 verse 32, the Quran says when you save a soul, you have saved the life of humanity. And when you kill a soul, you have killed the entire humanity. That is the Quran. That is Islam that I know. Anything happening in your area may be political Islam, but that's not the Islam that I know.
I lost a close friend in 2009. He was a student of Usman Dan Fodio University in Sokoto. I lost him due to Sharia law. Deborah Samuel was killed in 2022 due to Sharia law. A woman in 2007, Christiana Olusegun, was killed because of the fact that she took the Quran from a student who was using the Quran to cheat. They accused her of desecrating the Quran, and she was killed. So, is she not a Christian? Why are you trying to say that the Sharia law won't take effect on Christians?
Young man, I was in Gobe when that incident happened. You are just reading from the newspaper. I was in Gobe, doing sabbatical in Gobe State University when that thing happened. I know what happened. Forget about your pepper soup or your beer parlor information. We are giving you certain information, you are believing what your junk information. I was there, I was in Gobe that year.
The judicial system of this country is kind of, for now, is tripartite. There are three systems. The common law is being used. Customary, after common law, under common law, you have the magistrate courts, high courts, courts of appeal, and the Supreme Court. Then there is Sharia law, which is already in operation in the north. Then there is customary law, which is all over the federation, throughout Nigeria. The common law, which operates, through which we operate the magistrate, high court, appeal court, and the Supreme Court, is suitable for Christians. And the Christians enjoy it. And because of that, they have not asked for any other thing. Because common law, which is not so common, is Christian law. The Muslims in the north enjoy Sharia. But the Yoruba Muslims, or Muslims in the southern part of the country, have nothing to rely on. They are robbed, they are denied, they are deprived, they are oppressed. And on several occasions, cases in courts, particularly on personal Islamic law, have been dropped, and the judges have ruled that they had no jurisdiction, that the court had no jurisdiction to decide cases of sharing of inheritance, and the judges in the high courts have admitted publicly, and it is in print, they are published, that they had no jurisdiction. They didn't know anything about those cases. Cases of those Muslim couples was set aside, and because there is no Sharia law, no Sharia court in Yoruba land, those Muslims from Ibadan, from Osogbo, from Ondo, from Lagos, they have to go to Kwara, where there is a Sharia court, where there are Sharia courts. This is injustice. Democracy is about accessibility, that everybody has opportunity. Democracy is about opportunity, that equal opportunity, equal chance, equal rights, equity, fairness, justice. The Muslims in Yoruba land and in general in the whole south are being deprived without Sharia court in Yoruba land, without Sharia court in Yoruba, and it is because there is no Sharia court. That's why we started the Sharia panels, and then the hula baloo began. I think it smacks of selfishness, it smacks of ignorance, and of course it is an invitation to chaos. In particular, we have Yoruba nation activists threatening Muslim leaders in Yoruba land. Gentlemen of the press, you will be failing in your duties if you do not come out with the truth, because nations born when truth is hidden away. And this is the beginning. When Muslims are attacked, if Muslims are attacked, those Muslims, the rest of the Muslims will not watch quietly. And it is irresponsibility on the part of the chief executives of the states in Yoruba land to come out openly to declare that Muslims want to establish Sharia courts. There was no such information. But because they want to trap the Muslims, they started shout like somebody like Makinde here, the governor of Oyo State, somebody like Abiodun in Abeokuta in Ogun State. He also issued a threat and said there was nothing like Sharia. And of course, we'd like to say that we will continue to press for the Sharia panels. The Sharia panels in existence will not close, and any attempts to close them will be a declaration of war on Muslims, because we hold those Sharia panels inside mosques. We don't use government courts. They are not courts. If they insist on being ignorant, then we will insist on our rights. Arbitration is our right, and from it we will move on to the court per se, because Sharia court is actually our right. We are begging the question when we ask only for Sharia panel. It is because in peace in this part of the country, the other side have been harassing, intimidating, oppressing, persecuting, and it is time this stops.
Welcome back to Local Journal, my people. When I think say this Sharia matter don't they die down, they go already. It be like saying that now 19 don't they gather momentum, because as it stands like this, some they threaten fire and brimstone, say if this Sharia no come inside Southwest, say they go day for inside this country be that. And then they talk, say, make Christians come out their mouth inside this Sharia law matter. Say, it no concern them at all. Say, the people will go practice the Sharia law, saying that the Muslim now they applicable to, no be the Christians. So some of these Yoruba Muslims, especially Professor Ishaq, they talk, say, the Christians don't they shoot the Muslims for inside this country well. And only this Sharia law where we say the Muslims won't get for inside the Southwest, say the Southwestern Christians, they reject them. And even the people where they take no concern, say they shoot their mouth inside the matter, say that they want those people where the matter no concern to desist from commenting on Sharia matter, because the thing no be their problem. It be say the thing no concern them, and they under their jurisdiction to comment on. He talked many things inside the video, but waiting the shock will be say, I don't know what be the advantage of this Sharia law we don't get for inside this country. The north where they practice this Sharia law, how far they don't fare. We they see the bad happenings and occurrence where they happen for inside northern Nigeria. Now waiting the Southwest won't emulate be that. For me, I don't see any benefit where Sharia law will carry come the Southwest. Instead, it will cause division, and it will give invaders access to expand their territories and control over Yoruba land. So for me, the good children of Yoruba and the illustrious sons of Yoruba, make them reject this Sharia matter by force. Make them follow up to ensure say this Sharia law no see the light of the day for inside Yoruba land, because the Yoruba people, they are liberal people. They get Muslim people, they get Christians, and they get traditional worshippers. And all these people, when they talk like this, now brothers na NMB. So how you can carry one law come inside their land to create division amongst them? That one, no go fit work, and make them no allow and make it stand, and make them no allow and make it work. So I go play the remaining part of the video. Make me listen to waiting these people they talk about this Sharia matter for inside Southwest. But before that one, if today na be the first time they visit our channel, I beg make you like, make you share, make you subscribe.
To the Sharia in Nigeria as a result absolutely of ignorance. Those who know what the Sharia really is, even among non-Muslims, would welcome it. And I wish to give just a few examples. I taught the Sharia at the University of Ibadan. And the majority of my students came from outside the Department of Arabic and Islamic Studies. And I recall a particular occasion whilst teaching a course on Islamic family law. A student from the Department of Theatre Arts, a non-Muslim, an Igbo lady, caught in and said in the course of the lecture, "Sir, are you saying that this law that you're explaining to us is for the Muslims only?" And I said, well, Islam does not impose itself on those who do not accept it. It is only for those who accept that La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. She shook her head and said, "No, I think this law should be made obligatory on all men." That was a Christian lady, not a student of the Department of Arabic Islamic Studies, and an Igbo lady for that matter. The other example was this. I was invited to the High Court in Nigeria, in Ibadan here, where the judge was one Justice Oyekon, a Christian, to give advice to the court regarding the distribution of the estate of a Muslim that died intestate. That is, he didn't leave any will. I was being led in evidence by Chief, the first son, that lady, the first, I can't remember, Sholanke. And the evidence took more than 3 hours on two succeeding Wednesdays. At a point, the judge halted and said, Dr. Noibi, what you are telling us now, are you saying that all these are in Islamic law? And I said, it is just a tip of the iceberg. He dropped his pen and said, why are people opposed to the Sharia in Nigeria? Here I am, a lawyer for about 25 years, and I have been on the bench for nearly 15 years, and yet I'm ignorant of this law. If I had my way, I would say every lawyer being trained in Nigeria must study the Sharia. That was what Justice Oyekon said right in the court there. So it's ignorance. So it is said that an ignorant person is an enemy of what would have been beneficial to him or her. Therefore, we are making this an opportunity for people to understand what the Sharia really is, particularly because what we are asking for, we have been asking for this as far as, to the best of my own recollection, as far as the period when we were debating the draft constitution in 1978. When Muslims were saying, now that we're going to have one constitution for the whole country, let the Sharia also be reflected in that one constitution, especially because it is already accommodated in the constitution of northern Nigeria. And that was where the debate began. And as you have been hearing from those who read the speech to us, this is not the first time that the Muslims are asking for the Sharia. It's even before the year 1900. So we are calling for it just as our fathers and grandfathers had called for it before, and we are assuring non-Muslims of the fact that it doesn't take anything from them regarding their rights. The Constitution says it is for those who are Muslims, and especially because talking about the Sharia, the Sharia Court of Appeal, it says it is the state government that decides. The House of Assembly decides, and the governor assents to it. And it is only for those who subscribe to Islamic teachings and will go to that court. It is not imposed on non-Muslims. So we are appealing to non-Muslims to be considerate, live and let live. And let us recall what the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs in Nigeria has said about this matter. It is meant for Muslims. Let the Muslims have their rights, especially because Section 38 of the Constitution of Nigeria, subsection 1, gives people the right to live their lives according to the teachings of their religion, not only in the private life but also in their public life. This is what the Muslims are asking for. What the Sharia Council is asking for now is not court but arbitration panels. We recognize the fact that it is only government that can establish courts according to the Constitution. But it doesn't prevent us, the Constitution does not prevent us from having arbitration panels that is based on Sharia. That's the little that I wish to add to what has been said so far. I do hope that these pieces of information will go round and peace will reign. Thank you.
They have a mantra that they want to bury the Quran in the sea. They want to bury the sword in the sea. If they intend to do that, it will not be true Yoruba land. Their passage to achieve this will never be allowed to be true Yoruba land. We vehemently and unequivocally reject this. We totally reject and condemn the proposed inauguration while calling on the Ekiti state government to forestall the impending catastrophe by immediately putting a stop to any further preparations by the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria to inaugurate the Sharia court in Ekiti and in every other part of Yoruba land.
Where Sharia is in Nigeria today, is there any peace in those lands?
No!
The 12 states that said they want Sharia, problem with insurgency. And they don't want to bring that to Yoruba land. We think they will fold our hands. There are Muslims here, there are Christians, there is a festival here. Everybody is here. We are one. And we will not allow that to happen.